Hey guys, Doug here with another video tip. Today, the final one this week, I want to talk about volume. So for some viewers, this may be a little bit advanced, but how I decided to structure these videos is kind of beginner, intermediate, advanced as we go on throughout the week. So the first video tip will be pretty basic, just kind of for some people it may be a refresher, for others it may be new knowledge. And then the second video of the week will be kind of intermediate. And then the last video will be advanced to most people. If you're in the industry, obviously it's not going to be too advanced, probably just a good refresher for you. But if you're kind of general population, working out, it probably will be a little bit advanced, but hopefully it's a good concept that you can understand. So today's concept is volume. So I talked about it last time with when you increase your weight and trying to increase your volume. So you hear about these different programs that are low volume, high intensity, low intensity, mixing that all together. Basically, the first thing you need to figure out is what is volume. So volume, if we break it down, is your sets times your reps times the weight that you lifted. So if I did a dumbbell chest press at 3 sets of 8 at 100 pounds, I would multiply all those together and that would be my volume. So at the end of a workout, you may have lifted, 20, 30,000 pounds depending upon the exercises that you did that day. Obviously, something like a squat where you're lifting a couple hundred pounds is going to have a higher volume than, say, a bicep curl where you're curling 20 or 30-pound dumbbells. Generally speaking, depending upon the program that you're on and depending upon what you're following for periodization, whether you're doing linear periodization or undulating periodization, that's a whole nother topic. And there's other periodization models out there too. I would say those are probably the two most common ones. But generally, you want to try to increase your volume each workout. So say you're doing an upper-lower split. So every Monday you're doing an upper body lift, and then on Thursday you're either doing that same upper body lift or a different upper body lift. Either way, that following week you're going to probably do that same workout again. And so the idea of tracking your volume is, at the end of the workout, say Monday you did 22,500 pounds total. Your goal on that following Monday workout would be trying to increase that number. Now, it doesn't take a math genius to figure it out. You have to either increase the number of weight the pounds of weight that you lifted, the number of sets, or the number of reps. And which one you increase, it's total volume, so in theory it shouldn't matter, but it does slightly in the sense of, I talked about it previously, understanding your goal. If your goal is strength, you want to stay within the 5 to 8 to 9 rep range with most exercises. So yes, you may be able to increase that weight on the bench press of, maybe increase the reps and drop it down to 200 pounds and bust out 20 reps. But that's not going to stay with your goal of strength. So you may be increasing the volume, but are you increasing the volume within that given rep range? So sticking with that rep range, say you do 5 sets of 5 for your bench press. I use the bench press because it's pretty common. Probably too common for most people. Bench press, 5 sets of 5. Say week 1 you do 225. Next week, you try to do 225 on the first 3 sets, and then you bump it up to 230 on the last 2 sets. That is how you would go about increasing your volume. Trying to generally stick, and maybe on that last set, you try to bump out a 6th rep. So trying to bump up your volume that way is going to show how you're going to get the kind of the long-term results. So at the end of a program, you can say, I started doing 20,000 pounds of volume on this workout, and then at the end of 4 weeks, you're now doing 30,000 pounds of volume. So take a look at how much volume you're doing. It's a real simple way, plug your workouts either on paper or into some type of spreadsheet. There's all kinds of apps out there now that can track that for you, and figure out what your volume is, sticking within your rep ranges depending upon your goal. And that's the most important thing, is understanding what your goal is. Stick within that and then try to increase that volume. So that's today's tip, trying to increase your volume. If you have questions, definitely let me know. Again, I always put my contact info below on these videos, as well as you can always check out our Facebook page. We post tips multiple times a day up there. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.